Jesse Cook is P5. Chad Bell in Westfield is first. Zane Van Ruyen in Sterling's is P3. Chad Bell in Brabham is first. Chad Bell is up 13.83 in Graham Hill. Chad Bell is up 13.87 in Hawthorne Hill. Chad Bell is up 14.22 in Dingle Dell. Chad Bell is up 14.13 in Clark. Chad Bell improved his P1 with a 137.300. Morgan Goodwin in Brabham Straight is second. Morgan Goodwin improved his P2 with a 137.386. .086 off pole. Zane Van Ruyen in Brabham is 8th. Nico Quintal is provisional pole with a 137.138. Morgan Goodwin is P3 up 0.11. Nico Quintal in Druids Bend is P1 up 0.17. Zane Van Ruyen in Cooper is P10 up 0.66. Nico Quintal is first up 0.27. Morgan Goodwin in Dingle Dell is third up 0.28. 5 minutes remaining in the session. Morgan Goodwin is provisional pole with a 136.826. Nico Quintal in Brabham is second. Nico Quintal is provisional pole with a 135.802. Xavier Schalkwijk in Clearways is P7 up 0.23. Xavier Schalkwijk improved is 5th with a 138.402. 2.600 off pole. Morgan Goodwin is 2nd up 0.27. Morgan Goodwin is up 0.20 in Westfield. Morgan Goodwin is up 0.23 in clearways. Morgan Goodwin improved is 2nd with a 136.746. 0.944 off pole. Omar Khan from South Africa is P4 up 0.76. Omar Khan improved is P3 with a 136.900. 1.098 off pole. Kat Caperi in Surtees is 11th up 0.82. Kat Caperi is up 1.38 in Westfield. Kat Caperi is up 1.41 in clearways. Nico Quintal is provisional pole with a 135.717. Jesse Cook in Clark is P7. Connor Hess in Brabham Strait is P10. Connor Hess improved is 2nd with a 136.740. 1.023 off pole. Kyle Phillips is 11th up 0.63. Jason Wright in Hawthorne Hill is P6 up 0.11. Kat Caperi is 13th up 0.28. The qualifying session is now in overtime. Kat Caperi is up 0.70 in clearways. Kat Caperi improved is P8 with a 138.098. 2.381 off pole. Omar Khan in clearways is 4th up 0.36. Omar Khan improved is 2nd with a 136.558. 0.841 off pole. Kyle Phillips is 12th up 0.31. Kyle Phillips is up 1.02 in clearways. The race session is at Brands Hatch Circuit in Foxham, Great Britain. The wind speed is 3 km/h from the north-northeast. Nico Quintal is first. Omar Khan from South Africa is P2. Connor Hess is P3. Morgan Goodwin is fourth. Jason Wright is P5. Chad Bell is sixth. Jordan Hoban is seventh. Kat Caperi is P8. Xavier Schalkwijk is 9th. Jesse Cook is 10th. Zane van Rooyen is 11th. Kyle Phillips is P12. Denise Joubert from South Africa is 13th. Chad de Jong from South Africa is P14. Kai Brown from South Africa is 15th. Graham Brown is P16. Nico Quintal is first. 20 minutes remaining in the session. Race start. Adam Brown exiting pits. Morgan Goodwin in Halewoods is P3. Jason Wright in Graham Hill is P4. Connor Hess in Surtees is 5th. Xavier Schalkwijk in Hawthorns Bend is P7. Xavier Schalkwijk lost 7th to Jesse Cook. Kai Brown in Dingledale is P9. Chad De Jong is 10. Kyle Phillips in Clark is 11. Denise Joubert in Halewoods is P13, 0.7 behind Jordan Hoban. Chad Bell in Druids is P15, 0.9 behind Adam Brown. Nico Quintal in Hawthorne Hill is P2, 0.4 behind Omar Khan. Jason Wright in Westfield on lap 2 is 4th, 0.2 behind Morgan Goodwin. Connor Hess in Sterlings is P5, 0.3 behind Jason Wright. Xavier Schalkwijk in Clearways is 8th, 0.5 behind Jesse Cook. Jordan Hoban in Brabham is 10th, 0.4 ahead of Kyle Phillips. Kyle Phillips in Druids is P11, 0.4 behind Jordan Hoban. Chad Bell is 13th, 0.5 behind Kai Brown. Nico Quintal is 2nd. Best lap is a 1:36.228. 0.101 off the fastest lap. Connor Hess is 4th, 0.2 ahead of Jason Wright. Connor Hess was 0.6 faster last lap. Jason Wright in Clearways is P5, 0.6 behind Connor Hess. 15 minutes remaining in the session. Jordan Hoban in Clark Curve is P9, 0.4 behind Chad de Jong. Kyle Phillips in Halewoods is 10th. Best lap is a 1:38.449. 2.455 off the fastest lap. Xavier Schalkwijk is P11, 0.7 behind Kyle Phillips. Denise Joubert from South Africa in Cooper is 13th, 0.2 behind Chad Bell. Omar Khan in Dingledale is P2, 0.9 behind Nico Quintal. Jason Wright is 4th, 0.1 ahead of Connor Hess. Jason Wright lost P4 to Connor Hess. Morgan Goodwin in Clearways is P6, 0.2 behind Jason Wright. Kyle Phillips in Brabham Straight is P11, 0.3 behind Xavier Schalkwijk. Adam Brown from South Africa in Paddock Hill Bend is P14, 0.3 behind Denise Joubert. Adam Brown was 1.1 faster last lap. Jason Wright in Surtees is P4, 0.3 ahead of Connor Hess. Connor Hess in Hawthorne Hill is P5, 0.4 behind Jason Wright. Morgan Goodwin in Westfield Bend is 7th, 0.4 behind Jesse Cook. Jordan Hoban in Sterling's Bend is P8, 0.5 behind Morgan Goodwin. Chad de Jong in Clark on lap 5 is 9, 1.0 behind Jordan Hoban. Kyle Phillips in Paddock Hill is 11th, 0.5 behind Xavier Schalkwijk. Denise Joubert in Halewoods Hill is P14, 0.5 behind Adam Brown. Adam Brown is 14th, 0.1 behind Denise Joubert. Connor Hess in Hawthorne's Bend is 5th, 0.2 behind Kat Caperi. Jordan Hoban in Dingledale is 7th, 0.4 behind Morgan Goodwin. Chad de Jong is P9, 0.3 ahead of Xavier Schalkwijk. 10 minutes remaining in the session. Kyle Phillips in Clark is P11 battling Chad Bell. Xavier Shalquike entering the pits is P11. Kyle Phillips entering the pits is 12. Connor Hess is 5th, 0.6 behind Jason Wright. Morgan Goodwin is 6th, 0.5 ahead of Jordan Hoban. Morgan Goodwin was 0.5 faster last lap. Xavier Shalquike exiting pits. Jesse Cook exiting pits. Kyle Phillips exiting pits. Jordan Hoban in Hawthorne Hill is P7, 0.2 behind Morgan Goodwin. Adam Brown in Surtees Bend is P11, 0.7 ahead of Kai Brown. Kai Brown in Hawthorne's Bend is 12, 0.9 behind Adam Brown. Xavier Shalquike in Westfield is P14. Best lap is a 1:39.762. 3.994 off the fastest lap. Jesse Cook in Sterling's is 15, 0.5 behind Xavier Shalquike. Kyle Phillips in Clark is 16, 0.8 behind Jesse Cook. Zane Van Ruyen entering the pits is P16. Kyle Phillips is now 15. Kat Caperi in Surtees Bend is 4th, 0.3 behind Jason Wright. Jordan Hoban in Hawthorne Hill is P7 battling Morgan Goodwin. Zane Van Ruyen exiting pits. Jordan Hoban passed Morgan Goodwin for P6. Morgan Goodwin in Westfield is 7th, 0.3 behind Jordan Hoban. Jordan Hoban was 0.7 faster last lap. Jordan Hoban is P7, 0.2 behind Morgan Goodwin. Kat Caperi entering the pits is P5. Kat Caperi is 5th. Jordan Hoban entering the pits is 8th. Denise Joubert is 11th. Xavier Shalquike in Clearways is P14, 0.2 behind Jesse Cook. Kat Caperi exiting pits. Jordan Hoban exiting pits. Connor Hess in Surtees is P4, 0.7 behind Jason Wright. Jordan Hoban in Druids Bend is 11th, 0.5 ahead of Denise Joubert. Denise Joubert in Surtees is 12, 0.8 behind Jordan Hoban. Nico Quintal entering the pits is P1. Xavier Shalquike in Hawthorne Hill is P14, 0.6 behind Jesse Cook. Omar Khan entering the pits is 2nd. Connor Hess in Clark Curve is P4, 0.5 behind Jason Wright. Connor Hess was 0.9 faster last lap. Jason Wright entering the pits is P3. Connor Hess entering the pits is P4. Nico Quintal exiting pits. 5 minutes remaining in the session. Chad Bell is 6th. Omar Khan exiting pits. Kyle Phillips in clearways is 14th. Morgan Goodwin exiting pits. Connor Hess exiting pits. Jason Wright exiting pits. Chad Bell exiting pits. Adam Brown entering the pits is P13. Chad DeJong exiting pits. Kyle Phillips is now P15. Denise Joubert entering the pits is P15. Kyle Phillips passed Denise Joubert for 14th. Kyle Phillips passed Kai Brown for P12. Connor Hess is P4. Kai Brown exiting pits. Jason Wright in Pilgrim's Drop is 5th, 0.1 ahead of Kat Caperi. Adam Brown exiting pits. Denise Joubert exiting pits. Kat Caperi on lap 10 is 6th, 0.1 behind Jason Wright. Chad Bell in Dingledale is 8th, 0.2 behind Jordan Hoban. Adam Brown in Surtees is 16th, 0.5 behind Denise Joubert. Kat Caperi in Paddock Hill Bend is 4th battling Connor Hess. Jason Wright in Druids is P5, 0.2 behind Kat Caperi. Jason Wright lost 5th to Connor Hess. Jason Wright lost 8th to Jesse Cook. Jason Wright lost 10th to Chad DeJong. Zane Van Luyen in Druids is P14, 0.5 behind Kai Brown. Adam Brown in Halewoods Hill is 16th, 0.6 behind Denise Joubert. Kat Caperi is P4, 0.2 ahead of Connor Hess. Connor Hess in Clark Curve on lap 11 is 5th, 0.5 behind Kat Caperi. Kat Caperi was 5.0 faster last lap. Jason Wright in Brabham is P11, 0.7 behind Chad DeJong. Jason Wright was 4.7 faster last lap. Denise Joubert in Dingledale is P16, 0.3 behind Adam Brown. Connor Hess is 4th, 0.3 ahead of Kat Caperi. Kat Caperi was 0.8 faster last lap. Kat Caperi in Hawthorns Bend is 5th, 0.2 behind Connor Hess. Kat Caperi passed Connor Hess for P4. Connor Hess in Sheen Curve is 5th, 0.2 behind Kat Caperi. Omar Khan entering the pits is 2nd. Jordan Hoban in Clearways is P6, 0.3 behind Connor Hess. Jordan Hoban is now 4th. Connor Hess is P5. Connor Hess passed Jordan Hoban for 4th. Jordan Hoban in Druids is P5, 0.3 behind Connor Hess. Jordan Hoban is now 4th. Jesse Cook exiting pits. Chad de Jong is P8, 0.8 ahead of Xavier Schalkwijk. The leader has just finished the race. Nico Quintal finished 1st. Denise Joubert finished P14. Adam Brown finished 15th. Jordan Hoban is 2nd. Jordan Hoban finished P2. Connor Hess finished P3. Chad Bell finished 4th. Jason Wright finished 5th. Morgan Goodwin finished 6th. Chad de Jong finished P7. Xavier Schalkwijk finished 8th. Kat Caperi finished 9th. Kyle Phillips finished 10th. Jesse Cook finished P11. Kai Brown finished P12. The race session is at Brands Hatch Circuit in Foxham, Great Britain. The wind speed is 4 km/h from the northeast. Kai Brown is 1st. Jesse Cook is 2nd. Kyle Phillips is 3rd. Kat Caperi is 4th. Xavier Schalkwijk is P5. Chad de Jong from South Africa is 6th. Morgan Goodwin is 7th. Jason Wright is P8. Chad Bell is P9. Connor Hess is 10th. Jordan Hoban is 11th. Nico Quintal is 12th. Zane van Ruyen is P13. Denise Joubert from South Africa is P14. Adam Brown from South Africa is P15. Omar Khan from South Africa is P16. Kai Brown from South Africa is P1. Minutes remaining in the session. Race start. Kyle Phillips in Halewoods is P2. Omar Khan is fourth. Jesse Cook in Surtees is fifth. Connor Hess in Hawthorne Hill is P6. Xavier Schalkwijk in Westfield Bend is 7th. Xavier Schalkwijk is now 6th. Xavier Schalkwijk is now 5th. Jordan Hoban is P6. Chad the Jogging Clark is 7th. Connor Hess in Halewoods is 9th, 0.4 ahead of Chad Bell. Chad Bell in Graham Hill Bend is 10th. Denise Joubert in Surtees on lap 2 is P12, 0.7 behind Kat Caperi. Jason Wright in Cooper Strait is P15, 0.9 behind Morgan Goodwin. Nico Quintal in Sterling's is 2nd, 0.3 behind Kai Brown. Connor Hess is P10, 1.0 behind Xavier Schalkwijk. Kat Caperi in Clark is 12th, 0.1 behind Denise Joubert. Kyle Phillips in Paddock Hill on lap 3 is P13, 1.0 behind Kat Caperi. Morgan Goodwin in Halewoods Hill is 15th, 0.1 behind Jason Wright. Morgan Goodwin passed Jason Wright for 14th. Jason Wright in Graham Hill Bend is P15, 0.3 behind Morgan Goodwin. Omar Khan is 2nd, 0.2 ahead of Nico Quintal. Nico Quintal in Clearways is 3rd. "15 minutes remaining in the session. Jesse Cook in Brabham is P5, 0.8 behind Jordan Hoban. Xavier Schalkwijk in Paddock Hill Bend on lap 4 is P8, 0.4 behind Chad Bell. Zane van Ruyen is 9, 0.6 behind Xavier Schalkwijk. Xavier Schalkwijk was 1.4 faster last lap. Denise Joubert in Graham Hill is P12, 0.3 ahead of Kyle Phillips. Kyle Phillips is 13th, 0.4 behind Denise Joubert. Nico Quintal in Sterling's is P2, 0.3 behind Kai Brown. Nico Quintal is now P1. Omar Khan in Clark curve is second, 0.1 behind Nico Quintal. Nico Quintal in Halewoods is second, 0.1 behind Omar Khan. Kai Brown in Graham Hill Bend is third, 1.0 behind Nico Quintal. Jesse Cook in Cooper Strait is P7, 0.8 behind Chad Bell. Zane Van Ruyen is P9, 0.9 behind Xavier Schalkwijk. Connor Hess is 10th, 1.0 behind Zane Van Ruyen. Denise Joubert is P12, 0.3 ahead of Kat Caperi. Denise Joubert lost 12th to Kat Caperi. Nico Quintal is second, 0.4 behind Omar Khan. Chad Bell in Halewoods Hill is sixth. Best lap is a 1:36.403. 0.018 off the fastest lap. Connor Hess in Druids Bend is 10th, 0.2 behind Zane Van Ruyen. Connor Hess passed Zane Van Ruyen for P9. Zane Van Ruyen in Surtees is P10, 0.5 behind Connor Hess. Kat Caperi in Cooper on lap 6 is 12, 0.6 behind Morgan Goodwin. Denise Joubert in Hawthorne Hill on lap 6 is 14th, 0.5 behind Kyle Phillips. Kyle Phillips was 0.7 faster last lap. Nico Quintal in Brabham is P2, 0.4 behind Omar Khan. Ten minutes remaining in the session. Jordan Hoban in Halewoods is 4th, 0.6 behind Kai Brown. Jordan Hoban passed Kai Brown for P3. Kai Brown from South Africa is 4th, 0.7 behind Jordan Hoban. Xavier Schalkwijk in Cooper Strait is P8, 0.5 behind Jesse Cook. Xavier Schalkwijk was 0.8 faster last lap. Jason Wright entering the pits is 15th. Kat Caperi in Graham Hill is 12, 0.5 behind Morgan Goodwin. Morgan Goodwin was 2.1 faster last lap. Kyle Phillips in Surtees Bend is P14, 0.5 behind Denise Joubert. Jason Wright exiting pits. Nico Quintal is P2, 0.9 behind Omar Khan. Chad de Jong in Clark curve is 6, 0.5 behind Kai Brown. Jesse Cook entering the pits is P9. Jesse Cook is P10, 3.4 behind Zane van Ruyen. Connor Hess in Halewoods is 8, 0.9 behind Xavier Schalkwijk. Morgan Goodwin in Paddock Hill Bend is 11, 0.8 behind Kat Caperi. Kyle Phillips entering the pits is 14th. Jesse Cook exiting pits. Omar Khan is 2nd, 0.3 behind Nico Quintal. Kyle Phillips exiting pits. Chad de Jong is P6, 0.1 behind Kai Brown. Connor Hess in Sheen curve is P8. Best lap is a 1:37.324. 1.073 off the fastest lap. Omar Khan entering the pits is 2nd. Kai Brown from South Africa in Clearways is 8th, 0.5 behind Connor Hess. Chad de Jong entering the pits is 5th. Kai Brown lost 8th to Zane van Ruyen. Xavier Schalkwijk entering the pits is P7. Zane van Ruyen entering the pits is P8. Zane van Ruyen is P8. Omar Khan exiting pits. Denise Joubert is P13. Morgan Goodwin entering the pits is P10. Chad de Jong exiting pits. Xavier Schalkwijk exiting pits. Kat Caperi entering the pits is P12. Denise Joubert entering the pits is 13th. Kat Caperi is 12th. Zane van Ruyen exiting pits. Morgan Goodwin exiting pits. Connor Hess in Hawthorne Hill is P4. Denise Joubert is P12. Denise Joubert exiting pits. Nico Quintal entering the pits is 1st. Kat Caperi exiting pits. Nico Quintal is 1st. Chad Bell in Clark is 3rd. Chad Bell entering the pits is 3rd. Connor Hess entering the pits is P4. 5 minutes remaining in the session. Connor Hess is P4. Nico Quintal exiting pits. Kai Brown entering the pits is 6th. Jesse Cook is P8. Jordan Hoban exiting pits. Chad Bell exiting pits. Xavier Schalkwijk in Brabham is 9. Connor Hess exiting pits. Xavier Schalkwijk passed Kai Brown for P8. Kai Brown exiting pits. Jason Wright in Sheen curve is 14, 0.7 behind Kyle Phillips. Omar Khan in Hawthorne Hill is P2, 0.6 behind Nico Quintal. Connor Hess is 7th, 0.5 behind Jesse Cook. Kyle Phillips in Druids is P14, 0.3 behind Denise Joubert. Connor Hess is 7th, 0.2 behind Jesse Cook. Connor Hess passed Jesse Cook for P6. Jesse Cook in Clark is P7, 0.2 behind Connor Hess. Jesse Cook passed Connor Hess for P6. Connor Hess in Halewoods is P7, 0.1 behind Jesse Cook. Connor Hess passed Jesse Cook for 6th. Xavier Schalkwijk in Graham Hill is P8, 0.6 behind Connor Hess. Xavier Schalkwijk was 4.0 faster last lap. Denise Joubert in Clark is 13th, 0.1 behind Kai Brown. Kyle Phillips in Paddock Hill is 14th, 0.3 behind Denise Joubert. Kyle Phillips was 1.0 faster last lap. Connor Hess is 7th, 0.3 behind Jesse Cook. Xavier Schalkwijk in Clearways is 8th, 0.4 behind Connor Hess. Denise Joubert in Hawthorns Bend is P13, 0.1 behind Kai Brown. Kyle Phillips in Dingledale on lap 11 is 14th, 0.2 behind Denise Joubert. Jesse Cook in Cooper is P7. Best lap is a 1:37.383. 2.319 off the fastest lap. Xavier Schalkwijk in Hawthorne Hill is P8, 0.3 behind Jesse Cook. Kai Brown in Halewoods is P13, 0.2 ahead of Kyle Phillips. Kyle Phillips in Graham Hill is P14. Best lap is a 1:37.770. 2.706 off the fastest lap. Kai Brown in Surtees is P13, 0.2 ahead of Kyle Phillips. Kyle Phillips in Hawthorns Bend on lap 12 is 14th, 0.1 behind Kai Brown. Kai Brown in Dingledale is P13, 0.2 behind Denise Joubert. Kai Brown lost 13th to Kyle Phillips. Kyle Phillips in Clearways is P13, 0.4 behind Denise Joubert. Denise Joubert was 0.5 faster last lap. The leader has just finished the race. Nico Quintal finished P1. Kai Brown finished P14. Jordan Hoban finished P2. Kat Caperi finished 15th. Chad Bell finished 3rd. Chad De Jong finished 4th. Connor Hess finished P5. Jesse Cook finished 6th. Xavier Chalquite finished 7th. Morgan Goodwin finished 8th. Jason Wright finished P9. Denise Joubert finished 10th. Kyle Phillips finished 11th. Announcer bot is active. Connor Hess is 11th. Denise Joubert from South Africa is 12th. Jordan Hoban is P13. Jason Wright is 14th. Kyle Phillips is 15th. Kai Brown from South Africa is P1. "20 minutes remaining in the session. Race start." Chad Bell in Halewoods is P2. Kai Brown in Graham Hill is second. Zane Van Ruyen in Surtees is P3. Kai Brown in Hot Orange Bend is third. Xavier Schalkwijk in Dingledale is 4th. Xavier Schalkwijk is now 3rd. Connor Hess is 4th. Chad de Jong in Clark is 12th. Chad de Jong is now 11th. Morgan Goodwin in Paddock Hill is P13, 0.7 behind Denise Joubert. Kat Caperi is 4th. Best lap is a 1:48.859. 4.725 off the fastest lap. Jordan Hoban is 6th battling Kai Brown. Jordan Hoban is now 5th. Nico Quintal in Hawthorns Bend is 6th, 0.2 behind Jordan Hoban. Nico Quintal is now 7th. Kyle Phillips in Dingledale is 9th, 0.2 ahead of Kai Brown. Kai Brown on lap 2 is 10, 0.2 ahead of Chad de Jong. Chad de Jong in Brabham is 11th, 0.5 behind Kai Brown. Morgan Goodwin is 12th, 1.0 behind Chad de Jong. Kat Caperi in Surtees on lap 3 is 3rd, 0.9 behind Xavier Schalkwijk. Zane van Rooyen in Hawthorn Hill is P7, 0.4 behind Nico Quintal. Kyle Phillips is 9th, 0.2 behind Jesse Cook. Morgan Goodwin is 10th, 0.3 behind Kyle Phillips. Minutes remaining in the session. Kai Brown from South Africa in Clark Curve is 11th, 0.9 behind Morgan Goodwin. Denise Joubert in Brabham Straight is 14th, 0.7 behind Connor Hess. Kat Caperi in Cooper is P3, 0.2 behind Xavier Schalkwijk. Kat Caperi passed Xavier Schalkwijk for 2nd. Xavier Schalkwijk in Hawthorn Hill is 3rd, 0.3 behind Kat Caperi. Jason Wright is 6th, 0.4 behind Nico Quintal. Kyle Phillips is P9, 0.1 ahead of Morgan Goodwin. Morgan Goodwin is P10, 0.3 behind Kyle Phillips. Connor Hess in Brabham is P12, 0.3 behind Kai Brown. Connor Hess was 4.0 faster last lap. Chad De Jong is P13, 0.6 behind Connor Hess. Denise Joubert is 15th, 0.5 behind Omar Khan. Nico Quintal in Hawthorns Bend is P5, 0.3 behind Jordan Hoban. Kyle Phillips is 9, 0.3 behind Morgan Goodwin. Connor Hess is P10. Best lap is a 1:36.715. 0.499 off the fastest lap. Chad De Jong in Clearways is 12. Jesse Cook entering the pits is P13. Denise Joubert in Brabham Straight is 14, 0.5 behind Omar Khan. Nico Quintal is P5, 0.3 behind Jordan Hoban. Nico Quintal was 0.5 faster last lap. Kai Brown entering the pits is P12. Jason Wright in Hawthorne Hill is P6, 1.0 behind Nico Quintal. Jesse Cook exiting pits. Jason Wright is now P5. Xavier Schalkwijk is 6th, 0.7 behind Jason Wright. Connor Hess in Sheen Curve is 9, 0.5 ahead of Kyle Phillips. Connor Hess was 2.7 faster last lap. Kyle Phillips in Clearways is P10. 10 minutes remaining in the session. Denise Joubert in Clark is 13th, 0.5 behind Omar Khan. Omar Khan in Paddock Hill Bend on lap 7 is P13, 0.2 behind Denise Joubert. Jordan Hoban on lap 7 is 4th, 0.8 ahead of Jason Wright on lap 7 is P5, 0.9 behind Jordan Hoban. Kyle Phillips in Westfield is P9, 0.1 ahead of Zane van Rooyen. Chad de Jong in Sterling's on lap 7 is P10, 0.7 behind Kyle Phillips. Jordan Hoban entering the pits is 4th. Jason Wright entering the pits is 5th. Xavier Schalkwijk entering the pits is P6. Xavier Schalkwijk is 5th. Nico Quintal in Druids on lap 8 is 3rd, 2.2 behind Kat Caperi. Jordan Hoban exiting pits. Jason Wright exiting pits. Kyle Phillips is 7th. Kyle Phillips entering the pits is 1st. Xavier Schalkwijk exiting pits. Connor Hess is P6. Omar Khan is 11th, 0.2 behind Denise Joubert. Jason Wright in Surtees is P12, 0.2 behind Omar Khan. Omar Khan was 17.9 faster last lap. Zane van Ruyen in Westfield is P8, 0.6 behind Chad de Jong. Kat Caperi entering the pits is P3. Nico Quintal entering the pits is P4. Kat Caperi is P3. Connor Hess in Clark is P6, 1.9 behind Morgan Goodwin. Morgan Goodwin entering the pits is 5th. Connor Hess entering the pits is 6th. Chad de Jong entering the pits is 8th. Jordan Hoban is 9th. Kat Caperi exiting pits. Nico Quintal exiting pits. Jordan Hoban is now P5. Denise Joubert entering the pits is P11. Omar Khan entering the pits is 12th. Morgan Goodwin exiting pits. Omar Khan is 11th. Connor Hess exiting pits. Chad de Jong exiting pits. Connor Hess is 9th, 2.0 behind Xavier Schalkwijk. Denise Joubert exiting pits. Omar Khan exiting pits. Omar Khan in Paddock Hill Bend is 13th, 0.2 behind Denise Joubert. Chad Bell entering the pits is 1st. Chad Bell is 1st. Omar Khan in Surtees Bend is 13th, 0.4 behind Denise Joubert. Five minutes remaining in the session. Chad Bell is 1st. Zane van Ruyen entering the pits is P2. Chad Bell exiting pits. Omar Khan in Dingledale is 13th, 0.3 behind Denise Joubert. Zane van Ruyen exiting pits. Nico Quintal in Surtees Bend is P3, 1.0 behind Kat Caperi. Omar Khan in Halewoods on lap 10 is 13th, 0.3 behind Denise Joubert. Nico Quintal in Dingledale is P3, 0.8 behind Kat Caperi. Connor Hess in Dingledale on lap 10 is P8, 1.0 behind Xavier Schalkwijk. Chad de Jong is P10. Best lap is a 1:38.289. 2.128 off the fastest lap. Omar Khan in Dingledale is P13, 0.2 behind Denise Joubert. Nico Quintal in Cooper is second, 0.7 behind Kat Caperi. Nico Quintal was 0.9 faster last lap. Chad Bell is P4, 0.6 behind Jordan Hoban. Jordan Hoban was 12.5 faster last lap. Connor Hess in Hawthorne Hill is P8, 0.5 behind Xavier Schalkwijk. Nico Quintal in Sterlings is P2, 0.5 behind Kat Caperi. Nico Quintal is now second. Hoban. Denise Joubert in Hawthorne's Bend is 13th, 0.5 behind Omar Khan. Nico Quintal in Graham Hill Bend is second. Best lap is a 1:35.471. Xavier Schalkwijk is P8, 1.0 behind Connor Hess. Denise Joubert in Brabham is 12, 0.6 behind Omar Khan. Nico Quintal is P2, 0.2 behind Kat Caperi. Chad Bell in Sterlings is P4, 0.6 behind Jordan Hoban. The leader has just finished the race. Kat Caperi finished first. Nico Quintal finished second. Jordan Hoban finished P3. Chad Bell finished fourth. Jason Wright finished 5th. Morgan Goodwin finished P6. Connor Hess finished P7. Xavier Schalkwijk finished 8th. Zane van Rooyen finished P9. Jesse Cook finished 10th. Denise Joubert finished P11. Omar Khan finished P12. 25 minutes remaining in the session.